Alright. We are going to be playing Bloodsucker. It's a game made by BrittleLizard, and I helped do some of the art. I really, really love BrittleLizard's past work. Done some fantastic things, actually. Like, I really loved, oh, Frozen Forward, the title, this has changed since I saw it. That's cool. And I really love False Fruit. And I haven't personally played Who Are You, but I watched bits and pieces of someone else play it. Love Brittle, love their writing, love their storytelling. So this is Bloodsucker. It wasn't that one day Daisy woke up and the world was out to get her. It wasn't that it was too slow of a change for her to notice either. For all the talk of frogs and boiling water, she was always painfully and acutely aware of the danger growing around her. What is one to do, though, about the world turning against them? Even if the frog understands what's happening, how can its tiny body ever hope to knock the lid off the pot? To escape. Oh well, at least she has her mask to keep her safe. Creepy mask. So I know the basic beats of the story, and I did a lot of the tile sets and sprites, but I know very little about the details of the story. Like, I know like the major beats and like the major locations, but there were other things on my list that I really wanted to record, and something that I started but haven't finished yet. But just having a long week, but it's just wild that I haven't played this yet because I did art for it, and it seemed crazy to miss the opportunity to record it for my first go. So I'm just going to skip ahead of my list, even though there's other things that I promised people I would do that I feel bad that I haven't gotten done yet, but I'm only one person. It's so funny. I had to re-record this because the beginning, because I couldn't figure out how to hit enter. It's just the space bar. I'm just stupid. I was like hitting all the buttons on my keyboard except for space bar. How is it there? Well, you know, it's only been like a week. Still mostly just doing training. The city does seem nice though. And I can actually afford to live with this job. Yeah. I hope you get time to come visit soon, too, though. You should come see me when I'm done settling in. Maybe. I don't really like traveling that far, though. Hey, so I guess this means we're not going to end up seeing Ram 3 together. Oh yeah, bad timing. I would actually come down just to keep up the tradition if it wasn't so early. So soon after I moved, I mean. Yeah. You should see if someone else wants to go, though. I'll do that too, so we can call and talk about it after. Sure, that works. Someone else. I'll just take someone else. Because, I mean, the Ram series is for children. It's not like I can just go there by myself. They would eat me alive. Besides, I mean, I have other friends, right? So I'll invite... I can wait, though. I can wait until it comes out digitally. Me. And I'll watch it months after she's already forgotten about it. After she's already talked about everything she can with her new friends. So I'll have to... One thing at a time. I'll just buy the tickets now. There's no harm in that. Then I'll figure it out. Here I am. Right now, I just need to go to work. Ooh. Oh, that's bizarre. Oh, look, I can walk diagonally. Oh, I love that. And I'm going to do my utmost best to not be self-deprecating. I have a tendency to be self-deprecating and insult my own work. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to be positive about my own art, even though it's weird to see it in action. I don't know if I can click on anything. Fridge. Gotta flip that sink around. That's not me being self-deprecating. You begin to reach for the doorknob, but your hand freezes in place when you hear a deep growl from just behind the door. Check the people. You glance at the deadbolt to make sure it's locked before bringing your eye to the tiny window into the outside world. Hello? A neighbor. It's a neighbor. A neighbor is resting against the wall just opposite to the only exit from your apartment. Low snarls escape from behind his teeth, seemingly without his noticing. His nose rises and begins to sniff the air around him, only stopping occasionally and briefly to point in another direction. Finally, his snout drops slowly, and he seems to look directly back at you. After a few moments of this, he simply turns his gaze away from yours and walks away. Ooh, I like the fisheye lens on the door. You wait until you can't hear his footsteps against the creaking metal platform that leads to your door. Try again or ponder. So like try again to leave or sit and ponder. I'm gonna ponder. You grip the doorknob and wait again for a few beats. They just do this sometimes, sit there sniffing and growling at nothing in particular. You've long since given up trying to understand it. You just need to notice it's happening before you open your door. Rules. There's rules to follow. Right. Your shift starts in about 15 minutes. It should be fine now. You unlock the deadbolt with one hand and slowly turn the doorknob with the other. The door creaks open. Sunlight begins to seep in. Nobody is there. You step out and let the warmth of the day surround you. Days until movie 60. Finally, it's the time of day when your shift always starts to lull. Glance up. You look to see your coworker, the only one you're scheduled with today besides your manager, watching you from the other side of the register. Hi, coworker. In your efforts to learn the language of the beasts around you, the grunts and the growls that let you know you're in danger, you found she's been the easiest to understand. Occasionally, a word from your language even slips into her speech. Then you often find yourself wondering if, for some reason, she might be just as fearful as you. Maybe I could even... Hey! So you know how I said my friend? Her head cocks to the side inquisitively. You pause to translate the sentence in your head. Friend moved. Your coworker's grumbling interrupts you before you can finish asking the question. She takes a step towards you. Is she waiting for you to say something else? Did you translate something wrong? Did she even realize she was interrupting you? She takes another step towards you. Try again. So, she hisses something through her teeth. That one was definitely supposed to be communication. You recognize the sound. But, what was it? What did she say? She takes another step towards you. She's close enough now for you to realize her breath smells like rotten meat. Ask her. Just fucking ask her. When I say ask her, just ask her. You try to hiss back at her, praying that somehow it gets across what you need it to. She takes another step towards you. It's so threatening. Her distorted mouth opens to reveal another row of teeth you didn't realize she had. A barbed tongue falls out from between them. Beg. No more words manage to break your barrier between your brain and your mouth. You start to shake. She takes another step towards you. Ugh. Her face stretches as her jaw unhinges and her tongue starts to rise. Whew. Now my heart actually pounding a little bit. Oh my gosh. You grip your mask and hold it tight against your head. You can feel yourself getting hotter. You know you smell of fear now. Think to yourself, how could she tell? She's never... Please, what do I do? If you run, she'll know for sure. You tighten every muscle in your body, trying to will the sweat back into you. Ooh, she takes another step towards you. Opens her maw impossibly wide. And... Oh, hello. Your manager returns from the back room. Slow. Nobody. Daisy. Home. Yeah, sure. I can go clock out now. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the stuff on the shelves. I drew all these clothes. I had a lot of fun doing that. I like this lady, the fish lady. It's the manager. I had a lot of fun designing these mannequins too. Alright, wait, should I go clock out over here or... Oh, I can't just leave without clocking out. Wait, do I clock out at the register? I'm stupid. What? What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Try to breathe. I'm so stupid. I'm so fucking stupid. I'm getting so much better at this. I can actually hold full conversations with some of them now. What the fuck is wrong with me? Every day, every damn day. It's something like this. Anytime I think I'm making progress, it's just... You lean back into your seat and stare at the stains that have been on your car's ceiling since you bought it. I shouldn't even be scared of this anymore. I walk away alive every time, even if they scratch me, even if they bite me hard enough to draw blood, when I haven't been able to get out. When haven't I been able to get out? But how can I just sit there when their teeth are bearing down on me like that? Why can't I get used to this already? No wonder I don't have anyone to talk to. Drive home. Ugh. This hits. It's really hard to make yourself vulnerable, especially with people you have to like see every day. You know, I have this phrase I use where I say don't shit where you eat. And being like crossing that barrier of like we have to hang out with each other because we're coworkers, into like, hey, do you want to hang out with me like of your own free will? And then if they say no, you eat there. You've now shit there. It's gross now. Like, what do you do? You know, like it's so painful and it's so scary and there's no right answers. Hey, I know you're at work, but I think I realized today that I don't actually have that many friends other than you who like the Ram series. I mean, good save. It's really something that makes our friendship feel special. I tried to ask a coworker about it who said she liked it as a kid to see it with me, but I couldn't even get the words out. I started feeling silly to ask her about a kid's movie like that. I think you're the only one I've never been embarrassed to like it with. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna download an app later and just try and find some other people like me. I miss you more than I thought I would, so I hope I get to see you soon. Oh, the app part. I was looking forward to the app part. I knew that there was an app part because we talked about it a lot. It takes a few days before you actually find yourself looking down at the app. So I know I drew, I don't know if all of these, but most of them. And I know Brittle added some like scary elements to some of them, but I don't know how it plays into the game. And I'm really curious to see what was added. It takes a, I think I saw it in the little clip Brittle sent me. I think some of them had blood on it. I'm excited to see what that looks like. It takes a few days before you actually find yourself looking down at the app. Very green. Even longer before you actually put it in your information. Green and pink go so well together. Wicked was right. Wicked is so right. Speaking of not connecting with an old friend and wanting to go see a movie. That's hits deep. Even longer before you actually put in your information. Most people use it for dating or fucking. Oof. But it has a mode for finding friends, so it's not like you're misusing it, right? And no one uses it for that though. Like I know. I'm already sweating. I'll just try to get through this as fast as possible. Doesn't need to be anything except a movie date. I just have to swipe right for the ones that look safe and left for the ones that look dangerous. This one looks fine, right? So I'll just swipe right. Oh, that one looks dangerous. Oh, he looks. I mean, is it just the ones that are bloody and the ones that aren't? Oh. These are so goofy. I don't know why anyone puts up with me. Oh, wait, no, I can't tell. I'm really bad at this. Wait, that was so fun. I had so much fun. I was like going out to my mom and I was like, I need more monster ideas. And she's like, what about like a mirror that curses you? And I'm like, they can't really be like doing an action, they more have to be a concept. But I did fit a mirror-like object into there. I'm fucking awful at this. Literally what I just said like 30 seconds ago. Stealing, taking the words out of my mouth, Daisy. What have I even been learning this whole time? None of these people, I mean... Monsters. Tears start to sting your eyes and your throat starts to shut. Try again. Ooh. This one looks fine, right? So I'll just swipe to the right. Oh gosh, I can't be that quick. So I didn't add the blood. I love that. Not the giraffe. Some of these are just me sitting down and playing with shapes. That one's based off of the laughing whatever from Critical Role. Am I allowed to say that? Too late, I did. Oh gosh, this is like playing Tetris. I'm so bad at playing Tetris. I feel like in hindsight I was going so slow. No. This is another example of like, I'm just bad at video games. Focus. You pull your thumb away from your phone and stare at your reflection in the glass. Ugh, so true. Don't you hate it when you're looking at your phone too long and like you drop your phone in your face and it hurts and you're like, I deserve this. Am I even doing this right? Every single one of these people just looks difficult to be around. I guess that makes sense. Nobody would be looking for the same thing as I am. Someone else to be alone with. Oof. You set your phone aside and lie back on your bed, hoping to get lost in the patterns you can find in your ceiling's paint. After a while, you start to rest your eyes. Ooh, count down. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, a bowl. What happened? You open the fridge and peek in. Ugh, shit. Always bites me in the ass when I put empty milk cartons back in the fridge, but do I stop? I guess I need to go to the store. I don't want the cereal already poured to go to waste. Oh, I understand. I understand. Go to store. I can't see anyone, but there's so much noise. One of them has to be hiding somewhere. Here, you have to think before you go out. I'll just wait here until... I think it's okay. You have a ritual. Uh-oh. Ominous white void. The light always feels blinding here. Ugh, mood. Even in the farthest corners of the store, the harsh white of the flooring and the walls engulfs the space and surrounds you entirely. You come to understand that trying to circumvent this only ever seems to compound the problem. You aren't supposed to hug the wall in places like this. You aren't supposed to wait for others to leave an aisle before entering it yourself. Oh, that's relatable. You aren't supposed to be afraid at all. Not here. I hate grocery shopping. I hate grocery shopping. I talk about it a lot. I have a small like homestead and farm because I live with family, and I have all these animals and a big garden, and totally honestly my biggest motivator is to never go grocery shopping again. I hate grocery shopping. You've been to another of these stores before. In college there was one only a 20-minute walk away. The first time you went inside, you found it frightening how similar it was to the one in your hometown. After a few minutes inside, you hardly even recognized that you weren't in the same place you grew up. Yes. Still, it took you around an hour to find what you'd been looking for. When you finally got out, you found yourself completely lost. The parking lot looked entirely different than you'd expected. It was too large. It had too many cars. It connected to too many other stores. There wasn't enough shade. It wasn't anything like home. I've done that in Barnes & Nobles. There was a Barnes & Noble near the mall where I was when I was a teenager. And every time I go into a Barnes & Noble and leave it, I always halfway expect to be in that mall. One day, after an exhausting session of looking for food that the 70-watt microwave in your dorm could cook, you return to your car to find a large dent in its rear bumper. Oh, that fucking sucks. Something inside or underneath the trunk had been misshapen, and it didn't seem to close as tightly as before. After that, rain always found its way into the interior. Mold started to grow after particularly bad storms. The whole vehicle started to smell. Oh, that sucks. I had a friend who had an old car and it leaked, and it got so bad. This is so gross. You couldn't sit in the back seat. Mushrooms started growing in his back seat. It got so damp and moldy. He had to get those dehumidifiers, with the portable ones that have the silicone beads in the bottom. And he had a ton of those in his car. And he eventually wrecked it, so it just got totaled. But literal mushrooms grew out of his back seat. We were very poor. You were, at one point, excited to return home, to return to this building when you finally found yourself in need of a particular brand of bread again. You've been longing for that familiarity for a while, for that comfort you didn't even realize you found in seeing the tree-covered lot in the convenience store across the street. The landscape that was always supposed to be there, always supposed to be there. When the time finally came for you to visit home, the store was exactly as you expected it to be. The little changes they had made to its layout you'd been able to watch happen in your college towns as well. When you finally left, though, realization sunk into you. Ooh, always getting narrower. What you saw in front of you was no longer correct. It hadn't changed at all as far as you could tell, but looking at it, you felt exactly the same as the first time you left the store near your school. It's like now your home has switched, and nothing feels familiar anymore. It wasn't what you'd come to know. Now neither parking lot ever would be. Ugh. Brittle has such a masterful way of capturing really specific, relatable feelings. Maybe you learned the rules a while ago. It seemed odd that you wouldn't have picked up on them with as many times as you'd been there. It seems odd that you wouldn't have picked up on them with as many times as you'd been there. I don't know why that sentence is breaking my brain a little bit. I feel like there needs to be a comma in there somewhere. But at some point, you must have forgotten, or there's a chance they changed entirely. Not realizing you'd even lost them, you didn't think to learn them again for years. You start to recite them in your head, trying to keep them as fresh as possible in your mind, hardly paying attention to what's in front of you. Whew. Oh. You trip on something and fall face first in front of what seems to be the only part of the store blanketed in shadow. A dark figure turns to look at you. Daisy? Is that you, Daisy? Oh, look, my mask has fallen off. Daisy, it is you. She hands you your mask and you quickly place it back on your head. You. I haven't seen you since high school. I know. I thought you moved away a while ago. I would have gotten in touch if I knew you were still around. How have you been? Well, I did move a few hours away for college, but you know how expensive it is to live in one of those cities. I've been okay, mostly. Just working a lot, learning to live on my own, trying to stay sane. What about you? The same, really, minus the college part. I just did it here, a lot cheaper. I did hear that right, though. You have your own place now? Yeah, just a studio apartment, nothing huge. Lucky. I'm still with my parents. And yes, they still drive me just as crazy. Could she? Would you ever want to go out for lunch sometime? Now that we both know we're around? Yeah, for sure. Here, I'll give you my... Well, actually, do you still have my phone number? It hasn't changed. Yeah, I think it might still be in my contacts. Well, I still have yours anyway. I'll text you as soon as I get home. That sounds good. It was really nice to see you again, Daisy. I'd forgotten about her. She was really important to me, wasn't she? One of the only people who wanted to speak to me in high school. Why wouldn't I have kept in touch with her? But maybe if lunch goes well, I don't have to worry about the movie anymore. She'll go with me, even if she doesn't care about the series. Check out and leave. Saw someone from high school at the store the other day. Oh geez, did they recognize you? Yeah, I mean, it was an old friend. Not like one of the many, many dickheads. Oh, that's awesome, actually. Because, like, just statistically, there were a lot of dickheads. Yeah, lol. It'll be nice to have someone to fill the void, though. Oh, we're getting lunch. I'm not just saying that about a 10-second grocery store conversation. Aw, I left a void? You know it. Well, anyway. I'm really glad to hear you're making new friends now. Or old friends. Yeah. Old new friends. I just got super lucky. Lady Cave. I would have been talking to anyone for the next 10 years if I didn't run into them. I guess something out there wants you to make things a little... I guess something out there wants to make things a little easier for you. Lol. Let's hope. Aww. Over here, Daisy. I already got us a seat. Look at that. Oh, fun. All my goofy little monsters. I had a lot of fun doing those. Hey. Hey, what's up? Not much. I didn't expect you to be here this early. Tease or explain. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna tease. You were here before me. You were here before me, weren't you? Well, yeah. I had to make sure we got seats if I was the one who chose the place. They can get super busy this time of day. Honestly, I wasn't thinking about it when we made the plans. I'm still kind of ditzy when it comes to things like that, huh? Things like... What do you mean, things like that? The place seems really nice, if that's what you're... Oh, no, yeah, the food is going to be great. I bet the sandwiches will even come with little toothpicks through the center to hold everything together. Actually, have you even gotten a chance to look at the drinks? We should probably order at some point. You glanced down at the menu already placed on the table in front of you. Flip through. You decide on lemonade to drink and flip to another page to start your hunt for food. Most of it doesn't sound very filling or is meant to be paired with coffee or tea, two drinks you can't stand. Eventually, after running your index finger along the edges of the sandwich section of the menu, it stops at, huh, they have BTLs. You love those, right? They used to be your favorite for some reason. You can't stomach the thought of ordering one now. No, I know. No, I'm not in the mood for it right now. Ha, I never thought I'd hear that. Maybe instead, roast beef sandwich, cream cheese bagel, or a salad. Cream cheese bagel sounds good. I haven't had just a nice simple bagel in a while. That doesn't seem very filling. Well, it's not about the food as much as it's just catching up, right? The food is just like kind of there in case you don't know what to say and need something to do with your mouth. Yeah, true. I don't know if you're supposed to say that part out loud though. I was just thinking that. I was like, inside thought, Daisy, inside thought. Huh, yeah, oh, whoops. Well, you remember how it was when we went out to eat together before, right? What do you mean? The total opposite problem. We never finished our food. We'd sit down for hours and only get like half of the way through because we'd be talking so much. Oh man, yeah. Remember when our waitresses asked us if we were like okay or something? Oh, no. She just thought we really hated the food, but we were too polite to send it back. Oh yeah. I was so confused. I was like, no, girl, this is probably the best steak I've had in years. What are you talking about? I kind of wonder if she was just trying to get us to go home though. Yeah. Man, you're exactly the same as in high school, huh? Deny. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Similar sense of humor, maybe, but... So what's changed since we last talked then? What's new in your world? Work? Well, I work now, for one. Retail has definitely changed the way I interact with people. I guess that has to be true, yeah. Has it made talking to people easier, or... I don't know if easier is the right word, but, you know. I guess I have, like, formulas down a little better now. I know which noises mean, how are you? And when people ask me, I don't just answer and leave that uncomfortable silence afterwards anymore. I know to, like, ask them how their days are, too. That all sounds really stupid and unimpressive when I say it out loud like that, huh? No, not really. I mean, maybe it would be to someone else, but I get it. It's hard to tell you're doing things like that wrong when everyone else just started speaking in grunts and growls one day. Oh, we haven't actually ordered, have we? Oh shoot, I guess not. Huh. So, you remember how we used to handle this? Most places just seat you and have someone come up to you, but so we didn't do it that often, but you know, whenever we'd eat at a place like this or just had to get up to ask for something, we'd take turns. I honestly don't recall doing that. Makes sense though. I don't suppose you remember whose turn it was after last time. Haha, I always had to remind you back then too. I'm pretty sure it was my turn. Oh wow, I was joking. No way I would have remembered something from that long ago. It just stuck with me for some reason. Yikes. So you just wanted a bagel and a lemonade, right? Yep. Alright, see you on the other side. Aw, look at her go. You lean back in your seat, at least as much as you can without falling, and look at the cloudy sky. This feels easy. I guess I'm really lucky. When she moved away, I thought that was it. There would be weeks where the only people I talked to were customers. Any day didn't work, I would just sit in bed. I would have wasted the money on both of those. I would have wasted the money on both of these stupid tickets. But all of a sudden, someone else who sees it. Oh. Is there blood on her arm? Your arm! It's fine. His claws just got me when he was taking my card. He probably warned me, but it's not like they put in any effort to talk to us in a way we can understand. I'm sorry if I realized I didn't. It's fine. It was my turn. You can get the next one right. Maybe you'll have better luck. Or hey, maybe we'll get matching scars. Hey, weren't you the one who said the whole point of getting food was to avoid these awkward silences? Huh, yeah. So let's just... You know, when we were in high school, I always used to wonder if the world was actually getting more dangerous. I still do, I guess. I mean, we both see it, right? Yeah. They didn't used to have these claws or those teeth. You had to go out of your way to be as dangerous as these, whatever they are. And if you did that, everyone could see it. Nobody wanted to be around the guy who always brought knives to school or whatever. It wasn't just us two. But now, nobody seems to notice. Nobody came to check on me. Nobody said anything except you. I know, obviously, that these things, they're horrible, but I guess it's just hard to not to wonder, you know, if the world has actually gotten more dangerous. Or if I was just born fucked up. Console her. Well, you know, you've thought about this a few times yourself, though you've learned to ignore it by now, to push it out well before it can latch on to your heart and start to boil inside of you. You wish you could ignore it now, too, but you've already begun to speak. Your voice shakes. I think, at least I can see it too, right? Yeah. Yeah. It sounds horrible, but I think that's why we make such good friends. I'm glad you can share my pain. Yeesh. Days Until Movie 32. Of course you can share her pain. That's why you're friends, really. You Because you're the only ones who understand what it's like to have woken up to discover the neighbor you played with since you were young is growing fangs. To see legs sprout from a classmate's back. To hear them both begin to speak in a tongue everyone else your age has already seemed to have learned somewhere else. To realize those things might have always been there, but you were too stupid to have even noticed. You can't help but wonder, though, if she thinks she was just born fucked up? Doesn't that mean you are also fucked up? Daisy, hi! Oh hey, I didn't know you shopped here. I don't usually, but I was in the area and remembered you said you worked at a clothing store now. I guess I just got lucky you were here today, so I wanted to say hi. Well, it's nice to see you. If you see anything you like, I can also get you my discount. That'll get you fired, girl. Careful. Oh, cool. They just let you do that? Yeah, I guess they'll figure we'll try and do it anyway, so might as well make it company policy. Could not be anywhere I worked. Gotta stay hydrated, kids. So, hey, does your shift end soon? In like 30 minutes. Why? I don't really have anything else to do today. Do you want to go walk downtown once you get off? Sure. Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. Awesome. I'll just go wait in my car then. Text me when you get out. Your manager glances sideways at you, then returns their gaze to their phone. Another slow night. Zone out. You pull out your own phone and start to scroll. She hasn't texted you since you had lunch with your old friend. You were going to try and talk to her about how it went once you got home, but the thought slipped your mind. It would be strange to bring it up now, so many days after the fact. It isn't as though something important. It isn't as though it's something important to her. If it really mattered, you're sure she would have just asked you anyway. Put away your phone. You sigh and return your phone to your pocket, shifting your gaze to the clock on the computer screen in front of you. You let your vision blur for the last 25 minutes of your shift. No new customers come in. Clock out. Hello, Mr. Manager. I didn't think about how late it was gonna be. What do you mean? It's only 6. Yeah, but it's Sunday. Nowhere's gonna be open. That's okay. I didn't really need to shop anymore. I just wanted to hang out. Joke. Didn't get enough of me at lunch, huh? Of course not. So anyway, I didn't realize your store was so small. What's it like working there? Other than what you told me the other day, of course. Nicer than other places, I guess. It's all just closed, so you know, I don't need to know where 20 different types of oranges are. And there are shifts where the store is just pretty much empty all day. Oh, sweet. So are you basically just getting paid for sitting around on your phone? Justify. Well, it's not exactly... sometimes. I bet it's super stressful when it's not like that, though. Yeah, weekends are rough usually. And the holidays, that's where it's so bad I start having dreams about it. See, the easy days are just the universe repaying you for that. Ask her about her job. Good job remembering. I probably should have asked you way earlier, but what do you for... Oh, yeah, there's a typo. What do you do for work now is probably what I should say. I'm actually going to... Oh, what did that mean? Screenshot that. If I didn't break anything. Okay. Oh, you know, a little of this, a little of that. I don't think I do know, actually. It's cool if you, like, don't want to tell me or... No, it isn't anything I want to keep secret or something. It just feels weird to call myself employed, you know? I don't. Oh, I can tell from that look you probably don't know what I'm talking about, actually. From under my mask? It's just, I live with my parents and all that. I just work part-time in a grocery store. I have no attachment to the store. I don't get benefits. I don't know any of my coworkers. I work, but, like, I don't work, right? I'm just doing what I'm doing until I find something else I actually like. Inquire. So you haven't really found passion yet either, huh? Nothing I'm good at least. I'd love to do something that helps people, like therapy or being a nurse or something, but there's nothing specifically I want enough to go to school for that long. Yeah, your throat closes and stops the word dead in their tracks. Huh? Daisy? Oh my god, the neighbor. Ooh. Your neighbor stares directly at you, just like before, and takes a step towards you. Daisy? A deep guttural noise rips from its core and amplifies as it passes through the bare teeth. Your fingers try to reach impulsively for the sides of your head, but you can't find the strength to lift your arms. In fact, you can hardly move at all. It feels as though your blood has frozen in your veins just to keep you from doing so. You wonder suddenly if you remember to zip your mask. You wonder suddenly how obvious it is that you're shaking. You wonder suddenly if your mask is going to fall. It has to be. It has to be slipping. You can feel it slipping, falling, forever and ever and ever. But it won't just grant you the relief of actually hitting the ground. Your neighbor looks at both of you. It takes another step forward. Ooh. You. Back off. Leave us alone. She sounds like she's protecting you, but she's gripping your arm so tightly that you're afraid it will bruise. With every word she leans more into you. Her nails dig into your skin. Your neighbor huffs, and a dark cloud of smoke rushes from out of its snout. Are you who you say you are? How could it possibly? Are you okay? Yeah. It happens, right? You're shaking. Was that someone you know? My neighbor. Do you talk? No. I usually just try to avoid him. But if anyone in this town knows what I look like under this mask, at least amongst people that I don't want to, it would be him. Well, I think I scared him off for now. Hey, Daisy. Don't worry about it too much, really. I know it's scary. I know everything is scary now. But even if that's the case, even if it seems like everyone is out to get us, it's nice to have someone to share it with, right? Let's keep walking, okay? The creatures around me, even the ones I live next to, I usually know how to deal with them, even if I'm scared, even if I'm frozen. It's like before. I always make it out. I can always escape. I can always live through it, even if it hurts to move. I can always get away. But that grip, her grip, what did that remind me of? Bloodsucker demo. That's the demo. That's it. One more. Tile sets and decorations by Birdie Gaming. Additional tile sets Jabberwocky, Ma, Daisy and Old Friend Design Concept, Birdie Gaming, and BrittleLizard. Various monster designs, me and Brittle. Music, music, music. Yeah, some of the sound effects are from my animals. I couldn't hear which ones, if she ended up using any of them in this version of it, but I know I sent Brittle a couple clips of my farm animals making noises. I feel like it's like the first third. Excuse me. But I don't know, because I just read like the beats of the game, and when I read the outline that Brittle wrote for me, Brittle hadn't finished writing the ending of the outline yet, just kind of like a, oh, and then this will happen, this will happen, this happened, and there was like way more detail. So the part that had more detail was most of what I just played. So I feel like I know very little about like the second half of the game. Oh my gosh. I thought that that music was just playing the whole time. And it really wasn't. I just had two versions of the app open. I remember there was a moment where I thought, I wonder if I did that wrong, and I have two of them open, and that's why it's playing the same music this entire time. Oh my god. I'm such a fucking idiot. Like halfway through that, I was like, you know, that's a choice to have the same song playing the entire time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm crashing out. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to like put a disclaimer. I'm so stupid. No one's gonna get to this end of the video and be like, oh. Oh my god, I have to stay close to the mic. Oh my god. Apparently I don't. I'm not talking over loud music anymore. I'm so mad. Okay. You know what? It's fine. It's just... That's such a me thing to do. Like, I could kind of hear the sound effects, but I could just barely hear them. And I was basically just like, oh, I guess that's just the way it's mixed, you know? Like, I know Brittle said that they were kind of rushing on putting in the music and like all the audio editing. I guess they just picked a song and I'm really gonna have to put a disclaimer at the beginning being like, it's not bugged out. I just have a different version of the game open. That's so... You know what's funny? RPG Maker doesn't let you do that. You can't have more than one. Like the way the graphics engine works, it can only run one of them. So even if you're playing a game, you can't play test a game like in the engine because it's just the way that like whatever engine they use for the, you know, whatever, can only play one of them on your computer, period. And so that never happens because it just wouldn't work. And I'm used to playing RPG Maker games. So anyway, that completely distracted me. I can't believe I made that mistake. I don't know if I made it clear. I had two versions of the game open. So it had the title music playing the entire time when that wasn't the case. All these really, really nice, quiet, perfectly balanced sound effects that I just completely missed. Was there like more noise here? Like I can hear all that way better. I'm mostly curious. I guess it's at the very end, so I'm not going to skip all the way there, but... Listen to all the sound effects. Listen to that. I can't hear any of that because it's stupid music. I mean, the music is still good. I just am mad at myself that I messed up so bad. Anyway, so I obviously have some insight into the direction that Brittle is taking this, but I don't know the full extent of it, and I'm really, really excited to see how it's implemented. I think there's a really interesting metaphor going on here about like social anxiety, the feeling of like you don't belong. I hate it when you're like standing in a crowd and it feels like everyone's following a set of rules and you weren't handed those rules. Is such a terrifying way to exist, and for me at least, incredibly relatable. I don't think I've ever been diagnosed clinically agoraphobic, but mostly because if I were to talk about how little I leave my house, okay. I think if I were to speak to a therapist about it, they would try and get me to change. And you know what? I don't want to. I'm a homebody. I almost never leave the house. I hate driving. I keep myself very busy because I have a farm and I spend a lot of my time outside and very, very physically active. I walk a lot. I live on a really, really steep mountainous property and just yodeling up and down the hills all day with my goats and my dogs. But I really, really relate to that sense of like, if the one person I talked to didn't talk to me, I wouldn't speak to anybody for days. So like I live with my mom And if she's busy or if we miss each other hours wise, I can easily not speak to another human being in person for like many, many, many days. She used to have a boyfriend who moved to Florida, and she would go and visit him for like a week or two. And I remember she called my neighbors. I have these really nice elderly neighbors. They're in their like early 80s. And she had to call them and be like, hey, will you guys invite Chevy over for dinner? Because I don't think she'd see another human being otherwise. And she was right. Like, I truly just like, you know, sometimes I would go grocery shopping and like talking to the register person was like the most I talked to anybody in ages. But I know personally, I like it. I like being alone. I don't really care for people. I don't really care for crowds. I get that like really anxious. Everyone's looking at me. I'm doing something wrong. I stick out. I'm very tall. I'm very broad as a human. Like even if I were to like be super skinny and have a six pack, which I'm not, I'm fat, but I have like very broad shoulders. Like I've got like a very masculine build for a girl, and I don't know, I stick out. Like I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm tall, and I it's an uncomfortable way to exist because I don't like drawing attention to myself. So something that I really like about the direction that Brittle is taking this is like that sense of everyone's following a set of rules. I'm going to try and fake it, and I'm going to hide behind this literal mask that I'm putting up, so that maybe they don't notice me, and also so they don't notice my faults. They don't notice the way that I don't understand the rules. They won't, if people perceive me, they'll realize that I don't speak the language, for example, metaphorically speaking. And so then I'm really interested to see is where the whole neighbor thing goes, because I forget how exactly that plays into the plot. Because that sense of like the people who live around you being the ones that have like the most access to your most unfiltered self is really interesting. Like I feel like my neighbor always comes and sees me when I'm like, you know, sweaty and like I'm wearing my overalls and my clothes are all torn up and I've got like twigs in my hair, and you know, like all I drink is coffee, so like my breath probably smells, and I'm just like like, hi Lonnie, and he's like, howdy neighbor. And so then when I'm getting dressed up or just getting cleaned up to like go out into public, he'll see me and he'll be like, oh wow, you look dressed up. And I'm like, no, you just normally see me in goblin mode. This is my like this is the self that I would normally show to the public, and you see a self that I would not show to the public, generally speaking. And that's like an uncomfortable thing to have to accept, like just existing in the world. So I can't wait to see the rest of it. I feel really bad that I messed up the audio that bad. Like, I'm so naive. Multiple times, I didn't want to say it, but multiple times I was like, you know, that's an interesting choice. I wonder if that was an accident. No, I'm just stupid. But there's some art things that I feel like I want to change and send Brittle an updated copy, but I don't want to bombard them. I feel like there's more like small details I could put in there. It's hard to like, I've never done just the art for a game before. It's really hard to like imagine what someone else is imagining. And when you're doing a game jam, especially, like you're just going so quickly. And then we're both very busy people. So, but I really, really, really love the color palette and the way that the masks stick out. I know Brittle really wanted like a black and white with like minimal gray so that things really stick out. I worry that I kept saying this, and she's so nice. She kept being like, no, everything looks great. I think my style is really goofy. I feel like I have a tendency to make things like, I don't mean to. I think it looks scary, and then people are like, oh, that's so cute or whatever. So I think I lack scary taste, even though I really like horror. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. So I worry that a lot of my sprites for the world that Brittle is building aren't scary enough. Like they're mostly just kind of goofy looking. but I was trying to just come up with like really weird, you know, like almost Alice in Wonderlandy, which I don't like that movie because it always stressed me out because it doesn't make sense. So I was trying to design stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense, and then just like amalgamation of like different shapes and objects and ideas and just squish them together. Very few of them are specific references. The only one that's really a specific reference is probably the Critical Role monster, which is the laughing hand, and that's not what the laughing hand looks like. I just had it on my brain because I was listening to Critical Role while I was drawing. But the laughing hand in Critical Role is this like giant person shaped monster. But every time you wound them, the wound turns into a mouth that keeps laughing. So that one like black blob with like the big smiley teethy face, not at all what it looks like in Critical Role, but in my head it's inspired by it. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I am hoping to get back into posting more videos more regularly. I'm just sitting here chatting. Literally, no one's listening to me chat this long, which is fine. I wouldn't either. But I'm going to be playing Abra Jeroni's game. I got halfway through the first part of Goth and then just got busy and depressed and put it down. But I'm going to get back to it because I was really enjoying it. Holy guacamole. And then I'd really, really like to play Laxey's game because I haven't played, I don't think, any of his games on YouTube, and I've been meaning to for ages. As you can probably tell, I'm very dyslexic, so I have a hard time when, like, you know, a sentence doesn't flow correctly or flow the way my brain wants it to flow. It's really hard for me to like adjust and keep rolling. It really short circuits me. But I'm excited to, I've always liked Laxey's world building, but anyway, not to talk about other stuff in this video. But thank you for watching, and hello internet. Goodbye internet. Bye.